According to the Association of Poison Control Centers, just in the first 15 days of 2018, there were more than 39 reports of teenagers intentionally misusing Tide Pods. In 2017, there were 53. This suggests that the issue is increasing. And what's more is, those were just the reported cases. There could very well be more instances where teens intentionally put a Tide Pod into their mouths but did not go to the hospital or report it. Young children are drawn to Tide Pods because they look like candy and they don't know better. But why is it that older children, teenagers, have taken a meme to a whole new level where they're intentionally ingesting toxic chemicals? Today, Life's Biggest Questions asks, why are teens doing the Tide Pod Challenge? Hello and welcome back to LBQ. I'm Charlotte Dobre. Don't forget to like and subscribe and let us know in those comments below what topics you would like to see on this channel. The contents of Tide Pods basically make them poison. They contain ethanol, hydrogen peroxide, and long-chain polymers, which are, you guessed it, toxic. These toxic components become easy to ingest when you put one of the plastic packets into your mouth, because the plastic membrane is designed to dissolve in the washing machine. Even putting a Tide Pod in your mouth for a few seconds could release the chemicals. From there, the chemicals can make their way into your bloodstream, lungs, and other organs, causing vomiting, diarrhea, and difficulty breathing. For these reasons, putting a Tide Pod in your mouth, even as a joke, could be fatal. So why would young people want to risk their life over it? Well, it seems people, especially young millennials, will do anything for social media stardom. When you do the Tide Pod Challenge, you film yourself doing it. The video gets shared to social media sites like YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram along with the hashtag Tide Pod Challenge. People browse the hashtag and watch the compilation videos. Once the mainstream media gets wind of a challenge, people start looking up the challenge submissions in large numbers. Videos garner hundreds of thousands of views in just one day. For this reason, YouTube has actually tried to limit the popularity of the Tide Pod Challenge by demonetizing videos and taking many of them down altogether. Take away the incentive and people are far less likely to do the challenge. That being said, there have been plenty of dangerous challenges over the last few years among young people. The Cinnamon Challenge resulted in several deaths. The Ice Bucket Challenge resulted in some teenagers getting knocked out and going into shock. The Tide Pod Challenge is not the first and definitely won't be the last deadly internet challenge. Next, another reason why this challenge has taken hold is simply peer pressure. 19-year-old Mark Pagan said that he was dared to do the Tide Pod Challenge. And lastly, people seem to just think that the whole idea of eating a Tide Pod is funny, so doing it literally was the only natural way for the meme to progress. The whole thing started as a way to troll the idea that kids were eating Tide Pods by accident. Tide Pods look very much like a candy. They are brightly colored and scented and wrapped in plastic. The satirical news website The Onion also added to the comical nature of the idea when they published a story about a child who wanted to eat a laundry packet. 2 years after that, and College Humor also made a video about a man who ate a bowl of Tide Pods and was subsequently carried off into an ambulance. Memes about eating Tide Pods became so popular that it just made sense for teens to troll the idea of eating them by actually eating them. If you do ingest the contents of a laundry packet, do not force yourself to vomit. Drink a full glass of water or milk. If you need to report exposure to laundry detergent pods, call the National Poison Hotline. For now, I'm Charlotte Dobre and you've been watching Life's Biggest Questions. If you want to continue on your quest for answers, check out our playlist Biggest What Ifs. As always, make sure you click the bell so you never miss an upload.